Hey everybody, my name is James with New Adventure Films, and today I'm going to talk about something I get asked a lot, which is how I create those moving map lines in my action adventure videos. Adding a moving line of where you are traveling really draws in your audience and gives your viewers a sense of being a part of your big adventure in a visual way, as well as adding substance to your videos. In this video, I will show you how to create a moving map route line in your video using Adobe Premiere Pro, Google Maps, and a map routing program called Strava. But the concept will still be the same no matter what map routing program and editing software you use. Strava is a mapping app that lets you create 2 or 3D maps, then save those maps to a GPX file. Not all mapping apps allow you to save as a GPX file, so be sure to check with the app you are using prior to paying any subscription fees. Okay, to get started, we have to open a GPS program that allows you to create a route and save it as a GPX file. GPX stands for GPS Exchange Format, which is an XML file format for storing coordinated data. To get a GPX file, I use an app called Strava. So I'm in it right now, and you can see that we're near Antelope Island in Utah, and I'm going to click on Create Route. And then the next we want to click on the area to start your route. So let's move in here a little closer. Let's say we started right after the causeway right here, right there. So that's the start of my route. And then I'm going to move down to, we want to end up, where do we want to end up? Yeah, somewhere down here, we'll say. So it's created the route for us. Next, we want to click on Save Route, and then we're going to name it. Let's name it ISLAND, Antelope Island Route 1. Let's spell route right, Route 1. Okay, and we're going to hit Save Route at the bottom. Okay, so now it's been named, it's been saved in Strava, and the next thing we want to do is click on this little down arrow right here, and we're going to say Export GPX. So it's now been saved to my downloads folder on my computer, and we're going to go to the next step. All right, so the next step is we want to bring that GPX file into Google Maps. So you see I have Google Maps open here. We're going to click on Saved. We're going to click on Maps. Then at the very bottom it says Create Map, and we're going to say Create Again. So this will bring up this untitled map box in the corner, upper left-hand corner here. And the next step we want to do is import our GPX file on these 3 dots where it says Layer Options. We're going to import. We're going to browse for our file, and here it is, Antelope Island Route 1. Route. All right. So now that we have that imported, we could see that we have our line-based map. Now, I want to preview this next to see what it's going to look like. And I'm going to dismiss this message up here where it says, when you share your map, this is how it will look in view only mode. So I'm going to dismiss that. And I also don't like that it's in the standard mapping format, as if you were driving to someplace. I like the satellite view. So down here in the bottom left-hand corner, you can click on this square and it'll change it to the satellite view. I think that's a little bit more detailed. So now that we have that, we're going to collapse the map. And here we go. You could see it just like we want to show it with the line. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to screenshot this. We're going to hit Control Print Screen. And we're going to go to Adobe Photoshop. We're going to say New File, Clipboard, Create, Edit, Paste, and here's our map. All right, so we're going to save this. I'm going to save this as File, Save a Copy. We're going to call it Antelope Island Line. I already had a couple folders or files in there called that, but we're going to write over them. So save Antelope Island line. We're going to replace it. Okay. And we're going to hit File, Close. And we're going to go back to Google Maps. We're going to go to Map Legend again. And this time we're going to get rid of the line. See this little red check right here? We want to uncheck that and the line disappears. So we're going to collapse the Map Legend again and move the mouse out of the way. I always do that so the mouse doesn't show up on the screen, the little hand. I'm going to hit Control Print Screen. I'm going to go back to Photoshop, New File, Create, just like we did before, Clipboard, Create, Edit, and Paste. So this is the same image exactly without the line. I go to File, Save a Copy, and An Island No Line. Save. Yes, we're going to overwrite that. Okay. And close it out. All right, now that we have our two images, we need to import them into Adobe Premiere Pro. I'm using Premiere Pro 2025. Earlier versions do the same thing. So we're going to first add this Antelope Island No line to the timeline. And then we're going to add the Antelope Island line to the timeline. Okay, next thing I see that I want to get rid of is the stuff on the top and the bottom. So we're going to go to Windows, Workspace, Editing, and then we're going to go down to Effects, and we're going to crop. It's already in the box. So what we want to do is search for crop, video effects, crop. There we go. We're going to drag that on to both images. All right. Now what we can do is we can crop out the top of the stuff that nobody needs to see, and then the bottom. Same thing here. All right, not perfect, but just what we need. So top is 12, bottom is 5. We want to make the same crop to the next one as well. Top is 12, bottom is 5. Okay, so now we have our two images with all the stuff on the top. Now we need to add our wipe effect. So again, in the effects panel, we're going to say wipe. And we want to scroll down past all these other types of wipes to just the regular wipe. And we're going to drag that over right in between these two. All right, now that we've done that, we can expand this. If I just left it like this is what would happen. The line would go super fast. And we don't want that. We want people to see the traveling journey that you're on. So we're going to extend this. I extend it all the way out to make it the slowest possible. So now when we click on play on the playhead, you can see this line go slow. But what is it doing? It's not wiping the direction we want it to wipe, because right about here you could see that it must be wiping left to right because it's catching both these at the same time as you drag the playhead. You can create a wipe in any direction, north to south, south to north, west to east, east to west, and diagonally in any direction. So what we're going to do to change that is we're going to click on our wipe area down here. It's going to bring up this box with the A and B, green and blue. And the top arrow says north to south. That's the direction we're traveling, so that's what we want to select. So we're going to select that, and we're going to expand this so you can see it. We're going to go back, and we're going to hit play on the timeline, and you're going to see this line go slowly working its way down to the bottom. You can also make a moving map line in 3D by taking a screenshot in the 3D view in Strava of your route with the line and then your route without the line, and then bring those images into Adobe Premiere Pro and use the wipe effect just like we did with the Google Map version. You can create a moving map line using Strava and Premiere Pro without using Google Maps. However, I like importing into Google Maps because Strava does not let you calculate driving times as if you were driving in a car or motorcycle, only bicycles, walking, and other non-engine powered forms of transportation. So that's it. That's how I do it. There are other ways you can do it and other apps you can use, but that's how I do it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my action adventure or how-to videos, please hit the subscribe button below. To view my website, it's www.newadventurefilms.com, And as always, thank you for watching.